Welcome, everybody. John Zegar. JohnZagar.com. How's everybody doing? Good? Good. So, just back from the gym. Have a cup of coffee. First cup of coffee today. Boy. Down the wrong pipe, but boy, did that taste good. Clear sky. No clouds. What's our temperature? Says 20. It's been in the 20s all night, I think. So it's been pretty nice. Not real cold. Got colder, I don't know, around 3 o'clock or 3:30. Got a little cold. But, looks like a good day. Supposed to be in the upper 40s. 46, 48, somewhere in there. The other day it was over 50, which was really nice. I want to talk to you today about a little more in personalities. Seems to be my specialty, I guess. But, the world's getting pretty grumpy. You ever notice that? I'm sure I'm not the only one. People are grumpy. People are doing not so good of things to one another. People seem to be mistreating each other. You're always in their place, in their spot, taking up their room. It wasn't that many years ago, Americans turned narcissistic. You know, the world centers around me. And all of that kind of thing. And they didn't want to wish anymore for things. They just flat out started demanding stuff. You know, you go to the grocery store, go to the health club, go to this, that, and the other place, and people expect stuff. They expect room, they expect space, they expect their time is more important than your time. You know, stuff like that. People have attitudes now. Well, I guess they always have had attitudes, but they have them more so now. There's a weather person on the eastern slope over here, and she wants to be a celebrity. And before that kind of surfaced, you know, she, how would I put it? She was just really a neat gal to watch on TV and listen to, and she seemed pretty educated and caring, and, you know, she was a good person. And then all of a sudden, she had aspirations. People used to send her, I guess, comments, you know, to how she's doing. She would even ask for the comments sometimes. And everybody, it seemed like, would respond back favorably, you know, positively, give her all kinds of accolades and whatnot. And if she saw one or two, which were probably above her intelligence level anyway, you know, she blocked you. She just would block you. And then all of a sudden she had to figure out some means or way to get some notoriety. And, we don't get, how would I put it? We don't get diseases through genetics. We get them through thought, right? You'd have to understand neuroscience to understand that. But we upregulate all of our own sickness, ill health, disease, stuff of that nature. The good and the bad. And so, I guess the problem I have is when you start using the bad for your benefit. You find something bad going on in your life, and then you celebritize it so that you think you can move up more, status-wise. I don't know. I guess that's why they pay extras off the street to stand way back in movies. And, I don't know what they pay them, $50 or something like that, in hopes that they become famous or noticed or something. So, enough with that, but it's a sad state of affairs when people turn that way. I'm not sure that blocking people, what's that other word they use? Oh, ghosting people. When you just stop communicating with them. It's all about me communicating to you, but don't you dare communicate back to me. That's where she ended up. It's sad. So, people in general, though, we'll get off of her. She'll dig her own grave, I'm sure. But there's a lot of people that want the world to go differently than it is. An example, higher up, when we think in terms of governments and politicians and ruling the world, and look at Putin over there in Russia. Oh my gosh. They had to finally just take him down. We haven't seen him for, what's it been? His war that he lost, we haven't seen him in a month? 2 months? Because his personality got out of control. His personality just got out of control. He was killing people in apartment buildings that had nothing to do with the war. He was killing kids in schools that had nothing to do with the war. He was doing dastardly deeds in the war that he started with Ukraine for no apparent reason. As it turned out, I think the governments of the world, as well as Russia, just basically told him, you're out, You're going to have to go sit down in the corner now. You're done. You won't ever be in power again. So go sit in the corner. And then, of course, the universe has its ways of dealing with that kind of behavior. And, of course, they gave him a terminal illness, which he's dying of now. It doesn't work, does it? What's another politician? You know, we saw the, well, no, I guess I probably ought to not go down that road. There's a lot of things that are happening in America that are not for the greater good of the country. That's a fair way to say that. And there's, as a result of that, a lot of humans that reside in America, the United States, are suffering really badly. Financially, you know, look at the cost of housing, look at the cost of food, look at the cost of gas. It's out of control. It's out of control. There ought to be a point in time, like they did with Putin, right? I mean, they don't have a word over there that stands for impeachment, right? But you look at Obama, he should have just been removed the first week. Somehow some progressive liberal women somewhere voted him in or whatever. You know, he should have just been removed. He should have never been in office. Look at this sidekick of his, which is an invalid and has no cognitive ability anymore. You know, that was a scam by the government to get him in. It had nothing to do with votes. It was terrible. And now look at the predicament we're in. I'm not saying it's any better on the other side. I mean, some people get a little too aggressive with, you know, how they want to rule, how they want to preside. So it's the same on both sides. Don't misunderstand me that I'm just picking on, you know, them over there, but it's the people over on this side too that are just as bad. Why is that? Why does that have to happen? There's a topic that I talk about quite a bit. I'm going to stop talking about politics for a minute, but there's another thing that I talk about a lot, which is collective consciousness. Collective consciousness is you all understand, first of all, that the universe, which consists of everything, no matter what your thought is in your head right now, it's part of the universe, okay? So that's simple. Everything is energy. Everything is the universe. So the way the thinking goes in the universe controls reality. You all understand that, right? That's pretty simple. And there is no genetics. You know, you got, 2 or 3 diseases that are terminal. Sickle cell, stage 1, and I think there's 1 or 2 others. I can't remember them right now. And that's it. Everything else is not genetics. It's upregulated through consciousness, both individually and through the universe. So people get terminal illnesses, whether they're a good person or bad person. You know, priests, for example, let's talk about religion for a minute. You know, priests, let's just be real honest about religion. Think in terms of the Catholic religion. the Pope that just passed away, which didn't want to be Pope, got elected in the House of Cardinals or whatever it is to be a Pope, came in and after, 2 weeks said, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just going to go in my room. Get somebody else. And he never, ever acted in the capacity of a Pope. People don't even know his name. I don't. And the one after, which we have currently, is suspect. Last week, when was it? Last week or not that terribly long ago, the Catholic Church, paid out another $1 billion to people that had issues with priests. I don't know. If you're wearing a black suit with a little white collar, it doesn't mean you're a good guy. It doesn't mean you're exempt from all the bullshit in the world. You are part of the collective consciousness. You are part of the bullshit in the world. You are causing cancer to little kids that are dying at St. Jude. You are the problem, along with everything else that's in the universe. All I'm doing is identifying some of the obvious things that nobody has put one and one together. It's used to be in neuroscience, it was believed that you control your destiny and your sickness or wellness. You can make yourself sick, you can make yourself well. That's kind of beaten down so much, I hate to even say it anymore. But collective consciousness overrides that. You as one individual is like one... How many people in the world? There's 8 billion people in the world. 85% of your thoughts every day are negative, right? And you have how many thoughts every day? 70,000? Probably more than that. So, what's the conduct of people on planet Earth? To create struggle, to make life worse, we're not... People have a choice before they come down to planet Earth, right? It's a choice. There's a lot of things you can do at that point in time, and a lot of people pick coming down here and having a life, right? Well, do you come down here to be of service for the greater good? No. No. Go to, let's see, what would be a good store? Go. Here's stores that are packed every day of the week, 7 days a week. The Goodwill, which you almost have to have a ticket to get in there now. And what's the other one? Excuse me. Ark. I don't remember what that stands for, but it's another secondhand store, I guess you'd call it. And you have to have tickets weeks in advance to get in there. I'm exaggerating to make a point. I was talking to a lady over there yesterday, and she works there, right? And because of the large discount she gets, she buys up all the sleeping bags that she can get her hands on when they first come in. This isn't, and then of course it's for profit, so, she figures out how to make money. I didn't hear her say she was giving them away. I didn't hear that. Maybe she does, but I didn't hear that. I heard the for-profit thing, because she's getting them at such a huge discount before everybody else gets a chance to look at them. It's crooked. It's crooked. Here's a guy coming out of the health club, right? Going to his truck, smoking a cigarette. Well, that's kind of the hypocrisy of, anyway, in America. It's not a pretty picture out here. And what I do and what I deal with is as many possible people that I can talk to in a given day and observe their behavior, their conduct, their passion, their reasoning, their motivation. What are you here for? Why are you doing that? Why are you acting that way? How is that a good thing? What are you doing today to be of service? What are you doing today to be of service for the greater good? Did you ever, here's another just observation, right? These are all observations. I mean, go out and look at your own observations and conclude your own remarks. These are mine. I'm entitled to come up with mine. Mine are accurate. I don't benefit at all from pointing out observations I make about personalities and people. I don't profit. I don't get a penny for anything that I do. I'm not looking for a penny. You understand? So the point is, collective consciousness pretty much rules the universe. Right? It's the reason that healthy people get sick. If you can't come up with some logical, scientific, medical reasoning behind that terminal illness, right? Well, it's collective consciousness. Go into... I'm enjoying my coffee as I'm talking. Go into... where's a big store? Walmart's a box store. Go into Walmart. Go into... Where's a fast... Go to any fast chain restaurant. I guess they call them fast food restaurants. McDonald's comes to mind. But you get treated like crap. You get looked at as if you're a villain. You get talked to like you're beneath. The customer, well, when I was growing up, the customer was always right. Ha! That hasn't occurred in 50 years. Go in and try to argue a point with a manager of a store. I don't know, you got to have a good point, but go in and just try to argue something. Try to file a complaint against an employee. Here's one that's really accurate. I guess I could speak to this. Go try to file a complaint against the police department, a police officer, a sheriff, deputy. They're all guilty. They take care of each other. Short story here in my town. Guy was told by an off-duty cop that he was going to kill him. He was riding his motorcycle. The guy was driving his car, and for whatever reason, he slammed on the brakes of the motorcycle, got out, came back to the car. Of course, he had a police department or whatever those official hoodies are when you're off duty. And started screaming at this guy in the car. Said, "I'm going to kill you right here, right now." Said that 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. I hope there's more media, because I know it's already been turned into the media nationwide, that we have dirty cops and dirty sheriff's department in this town. And then when you go to report that, the guy reached in his coat pocket or something. He was going to pull out a gun and shoot this guy in his car for no apparent reason. He just was pissed off. I don't know. I have no idea. It's personality stuff that has to do with sickness and ill health mentally. But the world is corrupt. You can't go to a police department and explain a story like that and expect them to want to get to the bottom of it and investigate and, do something appropriate to a cop who does that or a sheriff's deputy that does that. No manager at a store. I know another story where, at McDonald's, I guess they ask you or they tell them to fill the coffee up to some sort of line in a cup. And one guy was saying to him, fill it above the line, just fill it up if you wouldn't mind. I'll be careful. And the manager gets on the intercom. It was a drive-thru. And says, "You can't ever come back to McDonald's the rest of your life because you're harassing my staff." To be of service for the greater good. Now, let's say the line is an inch below the top, and you want it to just be a little bit above that. And they get that bent out of shape for, I don't even know if that would be a teaspoonful of coffee more. And then they bar you from McDonald's for life. How does that happen? How does that work? Can somebody tell me how that works? So, I can. That manager person who's doing that hostile argument with the customer, will collective consciousness now will find or upregulate a terminal disease and get sick. What does that mean? Well, that means that people are that negative that collectively that affects you and me. It's kind of, I guess, what I wanted to talk about. And I'm going to probably end right there, but if we've lost the American values, if we've lost individual values, if we've lost the importance of the other person, if we've lost who we once were, it's really over. It's really kind of over. So I do coaching and consultation, and I get a few people here and there. I don't have any sort of, national reputation or anything. I've written, 7 or 9 books, do workshops, lectures, podcasts, YouTube, blogs daily. But, I'm not really known that well, so I get a few people here and there. But yesterday, I put a little blog in, and the blog was basically saying, available for consultation around solutions. Let me say that one more time. So my little blog or bleep that I put in was around my availability to do consultation around solutions. Now, that can be individual or company or business. It doesn't matter to me. I can do all that. And I'm wondering if my phone will ring today. I say not. I think that's how negative collective consciousness and the world is. God bless everybody. Take care of one another, and I look forward to talking to you all again real soon. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.